Da, 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 da. It's that time again, once again, 1 o'clock on a Friday. That can only mean one thing. It's Crucible TV time. It's Crucible TV time, inarguably one of the best months of the year.
Why is that, Coach? Why is it the best month of the year? You gotta tell me.
It's championship month.
Ooh.
It is championship month, and we love a good championship month because, think about it, every championship round, right? Championship boxing match, 12 rounds. 12 rounds, it is championship round of 2021. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened in the first 11 rounds. We are still standing. We are still feeling good. We are still ready and able and have the opportunity to win. We still have the opportunity to win. You might be bruised up. You might be beaten.
But we are here to finish strong, baby. That's
We're
right.
going to finish strong.
Let's go.
Your spirit might be a little down. Physically, you might be drained. Emotionally, you might be just aching. Because 2021 whooped you. It whooped you, and you've been taking a beating. And that's okay. That's okay, because you know why? Because all champions take a beating at some point.
That's right.
All champions take a beating at some point. But it's how we respond. It's how we respond, and that's exactly what we are talking about today. We are talking about the championship mindset. We're talking about that championship mindset. Now, I'll be honest. This entire month of December, every Friday, every Crucible TV, we are talking about the championship mindset. Physically, what it takes to be a champion. Emotionally, what it takes to be a champion. We are talking about championship all month long because we know y'all want to win.
Right.
Y'all want to be champions. You don't show up on these things. You don't show up in life just saying, well, I hope I can just make it through. But you wouldn't be showing up here if that's what you were wanting to do. No, you guys that are showing up want to show up in life. You've got big goals. You've got big dreams. So that's why we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what it takes to be a champion. So without further ado, we're not going to take up any more time. We're talking championship mindset. Championship mindset. First thing, it's a bunch of C's, so write it down. Get your smartphones out, get your dumb phones out, get your piece of paper out, whatever kind of phone, whatever kind of writing device.
Because you're going to want to write this.
You're going to want to write them down. A bunch of C's, Crucible C's, okay? Champions, championship mindset. The first part about creating and having a championship mindset is you must create a vision, create goals. Create a vision and create goals. Now, why do I say the two of them? Why do I say the two of them? Like create vision and create goals. Ryan, aren't they the same thing? I'm going to argue that they're different. I'm going to argue that they're different. See, I think a vision is it's up in your head. It's like your imagination, right? Like you get this vision, you get these thoughts, you get all this stuff up in your head about this is what I want to have happen. This is what I want. I want to lose weight, or I want to build strength, or I want to make this team, and it gets stuck up in this head, right? But it doesn't turn into a goal until we get clarity, another C, by writing it down. Writing it down. It doesn't become real until we write it down, because guess what happens? It starts getting hard, right? It starts getting hard, and we start going on to this journey. And then, well, this goal, this thing is kind of hard. This vision's a lot harder than I thought, so let me diminish my goal. Let me diminish it to make it a little easier, so that way I can achieve it. I know that I can achieve it. That's not what champions do. That's not what champions do. Go ahead.
A lot of times, that vision creates the goal. It's like, well, vision and goal are not, they sound the same, but they're a lot different, right?
Yeah.
The vision creates the goal. Think about the goal as a target, right? And if I have a certain goal, right? We're doing bow and arrow, right? I want to just cock back my bow and shoot an arrow and aimlessly, you know what I mean? That's like putting a bunch of hard work in for no reason. I'm working out, but I don't know why I'm working out. I'm learning something, but I don't know why I'm learning something. I'm just checking a box. And we know that champions don't check a box. So the vision creates the target, the goal that you're shooting your arrow at.
And we got to write it down. We got to be specific, right? We got to be specific about it, because just like you said, if we're aiming at a target and we say, I'm going to hit that far target, right? But you just say it in your head. Let's say you just say that in your head, like, I'm going to hit that farthest one. But you realize, ooh, that's a little scary. That's way out there. I don't know if I can hit it. So I'm going to hit this target a little closer. I know I can hit that one. Or actually, you know what? Now that I'm watching, I'm actually going to hit this one a little bit closer because I know I can hit it. You shoot it, you hit it, and it's like, boom, I did it. But guess what? Your original goal was way out there. Your original vision that you were called to is way out there somewhere. And it's scary, and you're not sure that you can do it. That's where we want to learn how to get to, right? We got to create clarity. So what do you have to do? You have to declare it. You say, I'm hitting that target way the heck out there. That's what I'm doing.
And what you declare that target to be, don't put a limit on it. Don't put a limit on it, and don't just write it down. Tell somebody else who on your team, like right here, if I had a big crazy goal, you know who's the first guy I tell? This guy right here, okay? So, because then he's going to push me and hold me accountable. And as soon as he sees that I might diminish that goal or limit that goal, right there, he'd be like, no, Jess, get your mind right. We getting after it.
There we go. So there you go. Step number one of creating that championship mindset is we're creating goals. We're creating clarity with our goals, right? We're creating the vision. We're creating clarity. We're creating those goals by writing them down, declaring them, speaking them out, so that way we can then chase them. We can chase them and make them happen. Sweeney, no, we don't just work with athletes. We work with everybody. We work with adults. We work with grandmas. We work with grandpas. We work with athletes. We're working with everybody because you know what? Everybody's got to get their mind right. Everybody's got to get a little bit of that cherish the challenge in their life. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if you're interested, Sweeney, DM me. DM me right now. We'll get you rocking. Number 2, championship mindset. If we're gonna create a championship mindset, we've got to get into the mindset of competing. Competing. Champions go out and compete. I'll tell you what, Pete Carroll. Some people love him, some people don't like him. I love Pete Carroll. I love Pete Carroll because one of his phrases is he says, always compete. It's one of his brands, always compete. I think he might even have a book out there that says always compete. I love it. I love that mindset. What are you competing at? So many people get nervous or scared of competition. But that's when we grow, right? They get uncomfortable in competition. But that's when we go. If you want to be a champion, if you want to be, what does that mean? Like, that means you're going to be the best at something, right? Like, that's one of the definitions of being a champion. It's like you're top dog. Guess what? There's going to be a lot of people competing for that title, competing to be the best. So what do we have to get comfortable with? We've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. We got to get comfortable competing. So how can we do that? How can we get comfortable competing? Well, we can compete every day. We can compete every day in the little things, in the big things, right? We can compete every day and say, you know what? I wonder how I can do this a little bit better. I wonder how I can challenge myself a little bit better. Look, he's ready to jump in. He's ready to hop in.
So this is awesome that we're talking about, because when we talk about competing in everything you do, right? I had a workout with one of our athletes today, and I worked out with him, and we were pushing each other. I was trying to compete with him. I was trying to compete with myself. I was trying to go heavy and get after it. But then afterwards, I did some stretching. I did some slow it down. I did some little things. And I was like, man, like, Ryan and I were talking, we got to compete with these little things too. Because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And sometimes the way you do the small things carries over to the big things and make them even more extraordinary. So it's when we hear this word champions compete, right? It's not just competing when it's the big stuff, it's competing with the little stuff. And competing is an amazing way, it's an amazing lifestyle, you know, whether it's competing at being a son or a father or a brother, sister, daughter, or a friend. Compete with yourself to be the best friend you can be. And I tell you what, you'll be living with a lot of joy, for sure.
But I tell you, competition, and most people think competition happens just when the lights are on, right? You got to practice competing. If you want to be great when the lights are on, when the stage is set, you got to practice competing at practice. You got to compete all the time, right? You got to compete in the weight room. You got to practice competing. You know what? I'm going to see if I can move this a little bit quicker. You got to see if you can lift a little bit more. You got to see if you can be a better teammate. Let me see if I can spot you a little bit better. Let me see if I can eat a little bit better, right? We got to learn how to compete when nobody's watching, and
Champions made
arguably
when no one's watching.
Yeah, arguably when nobody cares, right? That's when you've got to learn how to compete, right? We got to learn how to compete in the little things before we get to the big things, before you can shine and before you can compete on the big stage. Go ahead, Jesse. Give them something else. I see you fired up.
No, I was just gonna say, just simply put, if champions are made when no one's watching, how are you competing with yourself when no one's watching?
There we go, baby. There we go. I like that. And I don't know if you can see this, but Gorilla Mike's in the house, and he gave them step number 3. Teresa, I see you getting in there too. He's giving them step number 3. If you have the championship mindset, we're talking championships, we're talking champions mindset today. Step number 3, we got to cherish the challenge. Guys, champions cherish the challenge. Not only do they cherish the challenge, we're giving you a whole bunch of C's today. They don't only cherish the challenge, they choose a challenge. They chase that challenge. And along the way of chasing, they know it's going to be hard. So that is when they are going to cherish the challenge. See, it's all kinds of, that could have been a whole message right there. Choose your challenge, chase your challenge, cherish the challenge. Say that 10 times fast. That's a challenge for you right there. Let's go. That could have been a whole message right there. What are we thinking? Little and then some.
When we hear the word champion, we think of a noun, a champion. Cherish the challenge is a verb. Champion is also a verb too, to champion something, right? And when you're championing something, you're surpassing obstacles. When I hear obstacles, I think a lot of challenges. Cherish the challenge has everything to do with being a champion. And a cherish the challenge lifestyle carries over to a champion-like lifestyle. To me, they're the exact same thing.
Amen, bro. Because what's it take to be a champion? Well, we got to, quote, beat the best. We got to beat the rest, right? We got to be able to go out there and overcome the challenges. We got to be able to not only overcome them, but we've got to change our mindset that the best in the world, whether you call it Kobe Bryant, whether you look at, name some of your best, Michael Phelps, whoever it is. Luke Skywalker, Rocky Balboa, right? They go out there not because it's easy. They do it because it is tough, and they embrace that grind, they embrace that challenge, and they do it because it is tough. If it wasn't tough, they wouldn't be doing it, right? So they are choosing to say, I'm going to be the best. And by doing that, they're saying, you know what? I like this tough stuff. And that's the mindset that it takes. We might not like the tough stuff, but we got to learn how to love it and embrace it and cherish it, because we know it's through those tough things that we're getting better. That's what champions do. That's what champions do. And on top of that, what do champions do? They don't just say, well, I'm going to go practice the things that I'm good at already. They go say, what are the things I'm most uncomfortable with? And I'm going to make that my competitive edge. I'm going to say, you know what? I might not be really good at this, so I'm going to become great at it, right? I'm undersized, or I can't throw, or I don't have a good curveball, or whatever it is. They say, well, instead of just working really, really hard at this thing that I'm already good at, I'm going to learn how to make that maybe my competitive edge. Or I'm going to go all in on making the competitive edge I have now even better, right?
Absolutely.
They get uncomfortable.
Because it's super easy to be like, oh, I'm going to work really hard and give that championship effort and the things that I am good at. But when you try to give that championship effort and the things you're not good at, it is uncomfortable. Yep. It is a vulnerable spot. Right. But if you did something uncomfortable today, if you got vulnerable today and did something tough, way to go. Way to go. Way to do something tough. Way to give that championship effort.
There we go. So there we have it. Championship mindset. Championship mindset. That is today's thing. And all December long, we are talking about that championship. We're talking about championship month. It's the end of the year, end of the month, and we are going to go out strong. So we are talking about what it takes to be a champion, not only on the field, but in life. So make sure next week you tune in, because we're talking about the physical side of being a champion, what it takes to physically be a champion. We talked about mindset today. Next week, we're talking about physically. What does it take to physically be a champion on the field and in life? So today we talked about the mindset. What did we say? We got to create goals. Champions create goals. They create clarity by writing them down, right? They start to learn how to love to compete, right? They compete in everything that they do. Right. And then step 3, they cherish the challenge. Step 3, cherish the challenge. That's that mindset. So there we go. So be sure to tune in next week Friday, 1 o'clock, as we dive into that physical side of what it takes to
wait.
be a champion. Guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And boom.
Can it
Keep
be
on-
next Friday already? I'm ready.
I wish. Keep on being a champion out there this week. We love y'all. God bless y'all. Go cherish that challenge. We'll see you guys.